Welcome to this session on construction, working principle and direction control of single acting pneumatic cylinder and 3-port 2-position valve. By the end of this session, you will be able to know the parts of single acting cylinder, construction, working principle and direction control of single acting cylinder along with the construction and working principle of 3-port 2-way valve.
Single acting cylinder is an actuator that moves load along a straight line. It applies pneumatic force only in one direction, therefore it is called single acting. Movement in the opposite direction is caused by an external force like spring or own weight of the load. Let's now see the main parts of the single acting cylinder. The single acting cylinder has a cylinder, piston, piston rod, seal, spring and an inlet port. You know the main parts of the single acting cylinder. Let's now see how it works. Initially, the piston remains at the innermost position in the cylinder due to spring force. When compressed air is supplied through the inlet port, pressure acts on cross-section of the piston. Product of pressure and piston cross-section area gives rise to a force that acts opposite to the spring force. If the pneumatic force is greater than the spring force, then the spring gets compressed and the piston starts moving. The seal prevents air leak across the piston. The continuous flow of air causes continuous motion of the piston. Load is attached to the piston through the piston rod, therefore, load also moves with the piston. The piston and load move till the piston reaches the other end. In the end, there is no further space for the piston to move, hence, piston and load movement stops. This piston movement is called forward stroke. In the forward stroke, the piston rod comes out of the cylinder. If we denote the piston by A, then the forward stroke is denoted by A. If pressure acting on the piston is released, the pneumatic force acting opposite to the spring becomes weak, therefore spring pushes the piston back. This stroke is called a return stroke. In return stroke, piston rod goes inside the cylinder. The return stroke is denoted by A-. To control single acting cylinder, or in other words, to push and pull load by single acting cylinder, you always need 3-port 2-position direction control valve as the main control element. Let's now see the main parts of 3-port 2-position valve. It consists of a valve body, spool, actuation mechanism, push button and spring, airflow path and the ports P, A and R. The valve body provides cavity that accommodates a spool, an internal passage for airflow and an actuation mechanism. The spool is a piston-shaped element that when shifts changes airflow path. The actuation mechanism provides the facility to shift the spool. The ports are a point where you can connect air pipe with the help of connector. You know the main parts of 3-port 2-position direction control valves. Let's now see how it works. The 3-port 2-position valve gives two status or positions of airflow. The input port is blocked and the output is connected to the exhaust. In this status, compressed air does not flow through the valve. Also, output port is connected to the exhaust port so that the output line remains at atmospheric pressure. The input port is connected to the output port and the exhaust port is blocked. In this status, compressed air flow through the valve and push the piston. Here is the circuit to operate single acting cylinder with ports marked P, A, R. The compressor sends the compressed air through FRL unit to actuator via direction control valve. When compressor is switched on, compressed air is available up to input port 1. When the push button is pressed, the direction of air changes due to valve shift and the piston moves forward. When the push button is released, the piston returns back.
We have reached the end of this session on construction, working principle and direction control of single acting pneumatic cylinder and 3-port 2-position valve. You should now be able to know the parts of single acting cylinder, construction, working principle and direction control of single acting cylinder along with the construction and working principle of 3-port 2-way valve.